Hello, and welcome to a special birthday edition of Cooking for Onesie. Roll music.
Good morning and welcome to Cooking for Onesie, the cooking show for solo cookers who may be embarking on a new journey and want to eat healthy and are gonna do that no matter what anyone else is doing. Okay, it's my birthday soon, and that brings up a Pavlovian cake response, right? Also, I've just been wanting to make this recipe so that my neighbors could try it, and I did make it for myself like a couple weeks ago, and it lasted me, I don't know, 5 days. It's the most delicious chocolate cake I've ever had, and it's the easiest chocolate cake to make. So, let me get this camera up a little bit higher. I had a tripod and everything, but it's just not gonna work. All right, I have a lot of ingredients out here, but believe me, this is so easy. Basically, all you need is flour, some kind of cocoa powder. This is just like regular cacao powder with nothing else added. Some kind of sugar. I've got brown sugar, and I've also got molasses, which can be a really cool substitute. It's not as sweet, and it gives it a molassesy taste. Some kind of chocolate chips. These are dairy-free chocolate chips. Some kind of coconut oil, or this is this amazing Miyoko's vegan butter. So it's soy-free, it's dairy-free. It's basically made with like cultured cashews. I've talked about this in another video, and it's so delicious. And then some kind of plant-based milk. Nut milk. Almond milk would work. Hemp milk would work. And those, I've tried those. I've done this with coconut oil. I've done it with almond milk. But today I'm gonna use coconut milk. It's gonna be so good. Okay, and then a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of baking powder, a little salt, some kind of sea salt. This is just a sea salt container that I refill with bulk sea salt every time it gets low. That's all you need. Another possible sugar substitution, maple syrup. If you're not trying to be a vegan purist, honey. I love honey, but I haven't really does it hurt the bees? Possible additions that you don't need, they're not necessary. We're done with the ingredients that you need. But cinnamon, nutmeg, this is like nutmeg with its own little grinder inside. And then last time I made this, my childhood self would absolutely fall over if she heard this, but I put walnuts in it. For most of my life, up till now, I thought putting nuts into like brownies and chocolate cake was pure evil. But I put walnuts in there. They're brain food. I love them now, and I put some in there. I put a few little date pieces. These are already peeled and pitted and ready to go. So, okay, so let's make this beep. I know. This is called a mug cake, but I'm gonna double everything in the recipe except the baking powder because I thought that was a little overwhelming in the recipe that I tried. So I've modified this recipe, and it's no longer a mug cake, it's now a bowl cake. And it's gonna be so good. Okay, bowl, measuring spoons, and we're gonna start out with 4 tablespoons of flour. This is so funny because to me, I get so much joy out of doing this because I cannot bake. Or I was told that I couldn't bake. Or I believed that I couldn't bake. All of those are true. This flour bag is so overflowing and spilling. We're gonna put about 4 tablespoons. Just get close. Ugh. This kind of situation is why I think that was about 4. I'm only ever gonna show you very forgiving, easy recipes. Also, if you're buying flour, make sure you get unbleached flour. A lot of times when you buy flour, I know you can't buy any flour right now. So sorry. And this is all I have till the end of this quarantine. We're not going to talk about that. But bleached flour literally has been processed with bleach, which you don't want to eat. You know how people use bleach to kill everything else? Like, you don't want to eat that bleach. So unbleached flour is still plenty white. And whole wheat flour is good too. So stay away from the bleach, people. Don't eat it. Use it for cleaning, but don't eat it. Okay, 4 tablespoons of flour. 4 tablespoons of flour. Now, here's the important part. To that, we are gonna add 4 tablespoons of cacao or cocoa powder. What do we got? I like cacao because it's just organic cacao powder, period. There's nothing else in here. So this came from the little pod that grows on the tree. If you haven't seen what a cacao pod looks like, look it up. It's so cute. It's amazing. It grows like right out of the trunk of the tree. And it's really good for you. It's got a lot of different minerals and vitamins that we don't get in other foods. And it's got a lot of antioxidants, right? This is why people say, oh, dark chocolate, because it's got more cacao in it. So just cut out the whole chocolate bar entirely and go straight for the cacao powder. This is how you make it delicious. Okay, that's about 4 tablespoons. And then we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of sugar. All right, this is when shit gets crazy and I go, really? Do I want 4 tablespoons of sugar? And I really don't. I am going to do some of these substitutions. The molasses cap does get a little sticky. I'm gonna do, this is way less sweet than like pure. Sugar is condensed from molasses, right? And then they like get rid of the molasses and it becomes like this byproduct. So like if you were sucking on a sugar cane, which is delicious, have you ever done that? So good. It's amazing. That's where sugar comes from. Unless it's like beet sugar. If you were sucking on sugarcane, you'd get like the sugary sweetness of the sap, which includes a component that they call molasses. So this is a condensate of what they take out when they make sugar crystals, right? So say like this is crystallized sugar. We'll put a teaspoon in there. Fuck it. Brown sugar then has more molasses left in. These are all the same animals, not vegetable. These are all the same thing, but they're just different parts of the process. So then brown sugar, we'll put a tablespoon of that. Is like, it's the same critter, but it has more molasses in it, which is why it kind of moves and slumps and it's softer, right? And then also, let's not forget the fact that dates are very sweet. So they can actually, in addition to adding like a little fruity texture to our cake, if you're into that sort of thing, and if you're not, it's fine. And they kind of will melt. Let's put a little handful of dates in because they're so sweet, they can actually be a sugar substitution. And I've seen lots of like vegan cookie recipes and stuff like that with no sugar that just use dates. So that's the fructose kind of sugar, right? So it's a very simple sugar, but still natural, not a fake sugar substitute, which your body does not know how to process. And you don't want to be eating fake artificial sweeteners. You just don't. If you look up the story behind how those got approved by the FDA, basically all the people that approved it after they suppressed all the laboratory trials in which the laboratory animals did not fare well. So they were just like, oh, let's sweep that under the rug and let's do another trial. This one will work out perfect. And then get it stamped, rubber stamped by FDA, and then boom, magically, when that company gets up and running that makes the artificial sweetener, all those dudes at FDA that approved it are now highly paid executives for that company. So don't even put your money there, in my opinion. Okay, so we've got a little of this and a little of that and a little dates, and then we'll finish it off with a tablespoon of molasses to kind of round out a fort. This is why the lid gets sticky. When you're cooking for onesie, you can do whatever you want. If you're cooking for twosie, maybe don't lick your finger. I'm in quarantine and I'm alone. I'm making chocolate cake for my own birthday. You still love me, don't you? Okay. That's actually Pecos's little turtle. Don't tell him that we were making out. He gets so jealous of little turtle. He's still in bed. No, he's not. I put him outside. It's 10:30. Do you know where your dog is? Yeah, we're making this basically for breakfast. 'Cause why not? All right, after you're done playing with your molasses, it is so good. It's got like this little bitter, salty kind of thing. And I think that's why people don't like it, but it's an acquired taste. I lived in the South for a while, so they just pour it on their bread there. You get to where you have a hankering for molasses. Where were we? This is our 2-ish tablespoons of melted. This is not 2 tablespoons. That's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's close enough. It looks good. It's fine. Now we're to the 4 tablespoons of chocolate chips, and then we're gonna do 6 tablespoons of nut milk. These nuts. I'm just gonna wash my hands really quick. Now I feel guilty. Okay, chocolate chips. About 4 tablespoons. I just washed my hands. 1, 2, 3. No more ones stuck about. 4. These are dark chocolate chunks, dairy-free, with unsweetened chocolate. They just give the cake like this delicious texture. So you'll be like caking along and then bam, chocolate chunk. It's really good. You're gonna love this. An 1/8 teaspoon of salt, maybe a little more. This time I'm gonna put a little cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. This is the aluminum free, because just like eating bleach, like you probably don't want to eat aluminum. That's not good for you. So this is, you can find this places and stuff nowadays. We're gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm going to grind a little bit of nutmeg. Just gonna give it a little. That's enough. Back in the jar. Back in the jar, fly boy. These are walnuts, and I'm gonna crush them in my powerful paws before I drop them in so that they're not overwhelmingly large. And I'm not gonna put a ton, but they are good for you. And they'll also help with the fact that we kind of shorted ourselves on the oil ingredient. And by we, I mean me. Do you wanna see what it looks like now? 6 tablespoons of nut milk. And then we just mix it up and bake it. So we're gonna bake it 20 minutes at 350. 20 minutes at 350. Again, that number is 555-5555. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good enough. All right, now we're gonna give our cake a stir. I'm so sorry about the camera angle. Oh my God, one of my nutmegs escaped from the jar. Dude, look at this runaway nutmeg. Not cool, man. Not cool. Yes, I'm really wearing a onesie. You know? Have you ever worn one? They're very comfortable. Sucks when you have to go to the bathroom, but other than that, they're the fucking bomb. Stir, stir, stir your cake early in the morning. Not too early 'cause it's nice to have an extra dream. Stir, stir, stir your cake early in the morning. Now, a real baker would have stirred all of the dry ingredients together, like super OCD, before adding any of the liquid ingredients together to make sure that everything was uniform and consistent throughout our cake. You know, with the exception that we have chunks of things that are going to be chunking up wherever they feel like it. But like I said, that's not me, and that's not how you make the world's easiest and possibly messiest chocolate cake. It is going everywhere. I really thought I could keep the table clean while I was doing this. Hello, are you doing okay? We're almost done. It's been 27 minutes, but that's just because I've been distracted and I got everything out and then forgot a few things. And then I decided to make some other breakfast because this is gonna bake for 20 minutes. So, and I'm really hungry now. You know what you're doing. You know. Just get all of the stuff off the bottom, and it's looking pretty good. Do you see that? Roar. We'll do one more spin around the bowl. Not still Jenny from the block now, are you? Oh, it looks so beautiful. Look how tough. Oh my gosh, I'm not kidding. This is gonna be so good. And remember, I just washed my hands, so I'm gonna do the edge cleanup with the best tool known to mankind, also known as your finger. I'm not gonna touch it after that. Look, this is vegan. Everything in here is already edible. So if you want to stop right now and just eat this as a bowl of mousse, fudge, whatever, you know, just make it smooth and creamy, you can eat it just like this because it's vegan and it's fine. Nothing is wrong with eating this raw. I just want to tell you that. All right, we're gonna pop it in the oven at 350. I'm gonna use my toaster oven at 350 for 20 minutes. It almost came out of the bowl. Good talk. It's so pretty, I don't even want to put the fork in it, but just to show you. Oh, man. It's so good. It's gooey, so dark chocolatey. The molasses makes it a little bitter and salty. There you go. This has been another episode of Cooking for Onesie. If you liked it, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends.